Okay, it finally happened. The Switch 2 has been revealed in a first look trailer. Everyone's talking about it. They posted the first look trailer and also said that April 2nd, there's going to be, I guess, like a live stream explaining more. I saw some people speculating maybe like a June release for it or something. Nintendo also said there's going to be a hands-on experience type thing in the beginning of April, which you will sign up for in a lottery type thing starting tomorrow. It's in a few select locations, one of them being New York, so I am going to try to sign up for that lottery to get in to do that, because that would be pretty cool, and it is not too far out of my way. It would give me something cool to talk about here on Willow Davis Games. This is my second channel. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Anyway, we're going to take a look at the first look trailer. Actually, I'm going to assume everyone has at least watched through this for the first time. It's very vague. It's like a 3D model of the thing. They just kind of, without saying anything, show some of the changes. So what I would like to do is go through it and pause and just kind of say all the differences that I'm seeing in a little breakdown. Because I don't know about you, but like when I get a first look at something, my eyes glaze over because I just like, it's too much to retain at once. I'm just like looking for all different things and you end up missing little details. So let's take a look at what some of the apparent changes are. There is the regular Nintendo Switch. It's bigger. Screen is bigger. They show it compared to the Joy-Cons right there. I guess it's closer to like Steam Deck sized screen or something, right? Although it would appear the aspect ratio is still 16:9. What else? The top is more curved. At least it's showing so far with all the details removed. Here's the bottom, and they're showing there is the speaker grill stereo on the bottom. There's the what looks like a USB-C port and the slots there for it to rest on a dock. That's USB-C, right? Well, actually, it looks, I wonder if it's not. It's got this flat wall very briefly on the side here, and the USB-C is just, it's just very curved. You see? It's just curved all the way through. There's not like, it doesn't like flatten out on the sides at all. Well, I don't know. This is like a rendering of it. So now that I'm looking real close, it kind of does, just not as much is what's showing there. So I don't know. Maybe my thing's just bent out of shape. I don't know. But no info on that yet. I'm sure someone has some better idea on that. Those look like screws, I guess. I was like, what are these plus signs? It's just a weird 3D rendered screw. It looks like it's got this kind of like, I don't know, composition notebook ass. Oh no, actually, maybe that's embedded glitter in a sense, like little sparklies, which I feel like I heard was a rumor. We have the power button. It's a little longer there. The volume, no surprises there. Looks like it's growing. A heat vent right there. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's like a sensor, infrared or something. Maybe it was a screw hole. I don't know. That's a hole right there. Maybe that's for a microphone. Oh, no. Okay, it was growing. I spoke too soon. That's the same thing that's on the bottom. So I've seen other like handhelds where there's a charger port on the top and the bottom for your preference, you know. It's kind of annoying to have the charger on the bottom if you're like just playing like this, you know. So that makes sense. Or you could probably use this as a port for something, I'd imagine. There is the headphone jack, the 3.5 millimeter, it looks like. Got to keep those alive because the phone industry hasn't. The kickstand, which is a more robust kickstand, which is not the same kind of new robust kickstand you would find in the OLED model Switch. That was like a big flap that comes out. This like is a big U and looks pretty sturdy. It bends back pretty far, although I think this is just for the purpose of the thing then jumping up for dramatics in the video. Okay, the Joy-Con's obviously bigger. Let me go back a second here. There we go. Bigger, and the screen's bigger too, so it's all going to fit together correctly. Big, meaty rim on the joystick there. It looks decently bigger than the regular Switch joystick, which is great. Buttons look proportionally bigger. Probably still the clicky Joy-Con ones. There's an extra button on the right Joy-Con bottom, which was a big rumor for a long time in some of those leaks, but we don't know what it's for. Wow, actually the RB, the R button here goes down pretty far also, it looks like, and obviously on the other side as well. There's not an extra button on the left one. It's got the red and blue colors, which are very mellowed out, very it's like pastelized in a way. Okay, they popped out the part where it clicks in. Actually, it needs to. There we go. It has the two buttons there, and also it looks like an additional two buttons on the farther side. So it says SL, SR, and I'm assuming on the far sides there, those are additional buttons. But the one in the back there on the top has a weird little circle in it, and I'm wondering what that's about. Probably not like necessarily like a button function, unless those aren't buttons. Maybe just something where like that's it, that pushes in and it clasps or something. I shouldn't jump to conclusions on that. You have where the connection is made right here, this port. This is most likely the sync button, because that's about where it is on the old Joy-Cons. Now, I just noticed down here is where there's the kind of infrared thing on the right Joy-Con. So I wonder if that's the exact same thing that's making a comeback, because that was used so widely. It tells you your heart rate in a Ring Fit Adventure. I think it probably got used for like 1-2 switch. And then there is this thing right here, and I think you get a very brief, closer look at it in a little bit, so I'll wait to talk about that, but I have a theory about that, which has been mentioned before in like potential leaks. You see the blue, and it's very mellowed out, very pastel-y. There! Oh, I missed it. Okay, now, as the things are popping in, the buttons are popping in here, you could see, no, you can't because I'm in the way. This thing is like, it clearly does something, because they're showing as it pops in, it's like, whatever. Not that it's going to do that, actually, but there. Right there. What is that? That definitely could be where a kind of locking in thing takes place, because it was said this is probably going to be like some kind of electromagnetic connection that holds it on that can then be like released or whatever. So maybe that's like a little clip thing. Maybe that gets charged up and then it holds the Joy-Cons on like a magnet. I don't know. Or what if this is a thing that would act as like the laser on a mouse or something, because a leak rumor at one point did say that maybe the Joy-Cons will be able to be used as a mouse, maybe like this, and I'll show you. Well, I think actually, if anything, maybe that has something to do with it clipping onto those things that you could slide onto the Joy-Cons that people sometimes do if you're like using a single Joy-Con for like a multiplayer thing. It's got the straps so you could put it on your wrist. I don't know do you even know where those are after you got them? Do you slide those on regularly for a Mario Kart session? Anyway, no idea what this is. Maybe it's just an extra connection thing. Maybe it has something to do with the magnet. Maybe it's part of the mouse functionality, if that exists. See the buttons there, they're pressing them in. It looks, just from that example, it looks like it's probably still the very clicky buttons that the Joy-Cons have, unlike the more mushy Pro Controller buttons. Now, I didn't really get to... That trigger looks like it could definitely, possibly be an analog trigger, which is not something that the base Switch has. It's all or nothing. It's just like a regular button instead of an analog trigger on like an Xbox controller where it knows how hard or how far you're pressing it down. I would very much like analog triggers. I think the lack of an analog trigger is like the one thing preventing the Nintendo Switch Pro controller from being like literally the best controller ever made. Okay, so they slammed it down on here. Let's replay of that. Okay, so you see, this is set in a little bit. You know, there's this gap right here for this red part to stick out a little bit. They slam it down into a thing. See, this is a new thing, which has a little strap on it, which makes me think this is the alternative to that thing you would slide on the Joy-Cons on the first Switch. But look what it does. Look, it's flat. It's flat, so you can put it down like that on a table, and then they slide them around on a table. Did you see that? Kind of like you would a mouse. Very interesting. Now, why would they do that? Why would they kind of add like mouse functionality to the Joy-Con? It makes sense to me. A lot of people like playing games like mouse keyboard. They just prefer to aim that way. So with that in mind, it would make that an option for them. Have a little more precision in some ways, although the Switch kind of supplements that a lot with gyro controls. So like in Splatoon and whatever, you use gyro a lot, which is fun. And it also looked like there might have been like a button on the front. I skipped it again. The joysticks look like they stick out a little bit more, a little bigger, a little better. There, see? Maybe that's to unclasp it, to, you know, take them off. That's a possibility. Unless it's like an extra button. Maybe, I don't know how easy it would be to like reach that. Maybe it's like you use the trigger and that button or something as like two mouse buttons. But it's probably just to disconnect it, really. Okay, they've colored the inside of the slot there for them to very robust clasp. Instead of the switch click, now it's like a clap. It's like a spank. Okay, here's a look at the front of it. You can even see the colors peeking through in the space right there. Kind of cool that there is a little space there. It feels like these Joy-Cons are going to connect a lot more firmly. I know, like, especially if you've had your Switch a while and don't have any new Joy-Cons, like, it does get a little creaky after a time, huh? Nintendo Switch 2, Switch 2. Nice. What is extra back button? Unless, of course, again, this is just to pop them off or something. Maybe they're like really sturdily on there. Let me see. Triggered, and then okay, no, it is exactly where the buttons are to unlock the Joy-Cons from your Switch. So I wonder if they just made those big buttons. Very interesting. And then we get a look at Mario Kart, Mario Bros. Circuit. Now, that does not sound familiar to me, unless I just missed something in some of the recent Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC courses, but I feel like I would have remembered this one. They're not explicitly saying, like, yeah, this is a new Mario Kart, and we don't see any, like, UI or anything to give a better idea of that, but this looks new to me. Tell me if I'm wrong. This looks like a new course. I don't recognize those cars either, so I think it's a new Mario Kart, and I hope there's some kind of gimmick to this one. Like, I want something interesting. I don't want just like it's Mario Kart again. Like, I would really like to see like they did something weird, like add in F-Zero stuff or like Star Fox stuff. Imagine it's like everyone's here and it's just like all kind of like fast pace and racing games characters together. I would like that a lot, but I digress. This is the dock. It is rounder, it's bigger. Everything else seems the same. They haven't given any details about like specs or anything, or if it's gonna get a boost from the dock or anything like that. I like that course. Shine Sprite. Okay, I would definitely remember a big sign that said Shine Sprite in a Mario Kart level. And again, I don't recognize a lot of these cars, these carts. So, and there's the handle thing for turning the Joy-Cons into a little controller, which I've never been a huge fan of. I really like the Pro Controller. But there you go. You can do that for that ugly-ass controller. It's coming out in 2025. And really nice of them to put this on here. Plays Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games. Exclusive Nintendo Switch 2 games. Interesting. As well as Nintendo Switch games. Nintendo Switch 2 plays both physical and digital Nintendo Switch games. Certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. Details will be shared on the Nintendo website at a later date. So you can take the game cartridge out of your Nintendo Switch and put it in to your Nintendo Switch 2. Will it get a performance boost? Who's to say? It probably could if they set it up to do such a thing. They might not. We don't know the resolution of this screen. There's a lot we still don't know. But very cool, the backward compatibility being full for digital or physical. It's very good. And it's confirmation that there will be Nintendo Switch 2 games that do not work on the base Nintendo Switch, apparently, which is an interesting confirmation there. You know, it makes sense. It's not surprising, but like there was the thought, like, I wonder if it's just going to work with both all the time. And then the game just looks better on the Nintendo Switch 2. That might happen, but no, there will be exclusives, which makes sense. And I believe that is it. You can see it side by side here. It's decently bigger. Looks good. It is kind of funny look at how small the Nintendo Switch is after you get your hands on a Steam Deck for a while. Nintendo Switch 2 Experience, series of hands-on events held around the world. I will be trying to sign up for that and hopefully get into that so I can provide more information if I get my hands on it in 3 months. So what are we still waiting to hear? Performance, resolution, different things the Joy-Cons do. What does that extra button do? What does the user interface look like? Is there like a home page? Is there going to be a kind of social media thing with it to share with stuff with friends for once? Achievements? What's going on with the joysticks? Are they Hall effect? Are they going to drift again? I imagine they would have found a fix for that by now. Who knows? The triggers, are they analog? What do those face buttons feel like? What games are coming out for it? Is there going to be a boost for the Nintendo Switch games if you put them in the Switch 2? Get more frames or whatever? Resolution boost? When's it coming out? What's the release date? And most importantly, when can we expect a new Animal Crossing game? Am I right? Anyway, that is my breakdown of this first look trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2. Let's see what happens as more people analyze this in the next few days. I'm sure I missed a couple of things, and there's going to be some new theories people have about stuff that was shown here, which I will be listening into very carefully. And I'm sure I'll be posting more thoughts and updates on here as time goes on, as we approach more information coming out for this and its eventual release date. So make sure you're subscribed to Willow Davis Games, and I'll be seeing you for the next one. All right, bye-bye.